ASMR channel. Today, we are going to be talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 10 books that I read in March. So, this is a series. This is like an ongoing series on my channel where every month I talk about all the different books I read, what I thought of them, how I rate them out of 5 stars, that sort of thing. So, if you have not seen the previous months, go check them out. I'll put it in the cards. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right in. So I'm gonna start with the two books that I read on my Kindle. I'm actually very proud of the amount of reading I got done this month because the first 2 weeks of the month were very, very busy. It was my birthday, but I also had to go to a funeral. There was a bunch of family stuff going on in my personal life. And so the first 2 weeks, I was just so busy. I didn't get much reading done at all. But then in the last 2 weeks of March, something happened, and I just was in such a reading mood. So one weekend, I think I read almost 2,000 pages, like in the span of 4 days. Like I was just going at it. So yeah, I'm at a really, really good reading month, all things considered. And most of the books that I read, I really enjoyed, so that's good. So, the first book that I read on my Kindle, and the first book that I read in the entire month, was Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This is a contemporary romance about a girl named Jordan who I believe is 19, and she is dating this guy. They ended up moving in with his dad because they were struggling with money. You know, typical 19-year-old things, trying to like get financially to get like your life together and whatever. And so this is a romance between Jordan and her ex-boyfriend's dad named Pike. So it's very like forbidden, taboo. There is an age gap. He's like late 30s, I think. But it's forced proximity because they live together. So yeah, it sounds very, very, very scandalous, but I honestly think that the book was like quite tamer than I thought it was going to be. I figured I was going to read this because it is called Birthday Girl, and since March was my birthday month, I was like, why not? It was a fun, easy read, but I didn't love it. I think I gave it like 3 stars, so it was like an average. An average rating. But if you're into, you know, like a forbidden ex-boyfriend's dad trope, check it out. It's definitely not my favorite Emily Henry. We'll talk about Emily Henry later in this video, but it's not my favorite Penelope Douglas book by far. So yeah, that was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I normally do not like age gap romance. I can't do it unless it's like the woman is a lot older. For some reason, that's fine with me because I trust women's intentions a lot better, I guess. But when it's like a young woman and a significantly older man, I normally just hate it. It's not for me. But this one actually didn't bother me. Like, as much as I thought it was going to, I actually didn't mind it as much. I really did feel like Pike and Jordan were meant to be together. Like, by the end of the book, I like believed that they should be together. I shipped them as a couple, but I myself didn't like swoon over Pike at all. I was not attracted to Pike, and so I wasn't finding myself like giggling or blushing, you know. And he definitely said some things that were questionable to me that I just didn't like. I did like Jordan as a character. I like that she like always stood up for herself. And sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. I just ate lunch. It's like digesting. But yeah, I liked Jordan. I didn't like Pike very much, but overall it was fine. So yeah, 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. After that, also on my Kindle, I picked up Confessions by Kanae Minato. Confessions by Kanae Minato. This is a horror novel. It's quite short. It's like less than 300 pages, which I really liked. I managed to read it very quickly. And it was originally published in Japanese, and so obviously I read one that was translated to English. This follows a bunch of different perspectives as they tell the same story. So, initially, it starts with a woman who is a school teacher. I believe she teaches like a 5th grade class, and her daughter was murdered. Her daughter was murdered. And so, throughout the book, you start with like hearing the story from the teacher, the mother's perspective. Then you hear about like the next chapter will be from another perspective, and the next chapter is another, and it's all the same story. But with each new perspective, you learn new details about what happened. And yeah, I just thought, as from like a writing perspective, I thought that this book was very, very good. I thought it was really well done. Normally, I feel like I would not enjoy a book that just tells the same story over and over and over, but I was not bored ever. Like, it never felt repetitive at all, because each different perspective was so interesting and unique. So, and like, there were so many plot twists. There's a plot twist like within the first chapter of the book. So I like that there was so many plot twists sprinkled throughout. I gave this 4 stars. I docked 1 star because there were some things that rubbed me the wrong way. There was like just casual transphobia in the first chapter that had no necessary value to the story. Like, it just didn't need to be there at all, and it just was like, why? I didn't like that, and I was surprised that no one else that I had heard talk about this had mentioned it. But yeah, definitely, obviously check the trigger warnings for every single book that I talk about, but especially this one, because it is a horror novel. But yeah, I did not enjoy that. There was also like a little bit of like misogyny. Like, there were just certain things that the characters said or did that I just didn't feel were necessary. So yeah, but otherwise it was very interesting, and some parts genuinely did like creep me out a bit, but it wasn't super like graphic horror or anything. It wasn't terrifying. It kind of read more like a mystery thriller to me than maybe a horror novel. So yeah. my hands while I read. And I've also been, like, my favorite way to read right now is to have a physical copy of the book and listen to the audiobook as I read along. Love it. Love it. So that's basically what I did for most of these. But the next few books that I read, we're just going to talk about in one group because they are all in the same series. So I am currently making my way through the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So in March, I read the first 4 books in the series. We have The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire. And then I'm currently, I just started Queen of Shadows, which is the next one, but yeah, so these are part of an epic fantasy series. And they follow our main character, Selena Sardathian, who you learn about in Assassin's Blade. This is technically the prequel, but I would recommend reading it first if you're going to read the series. And she is like one of the best assassins in the country Aurelia. This is like where it's set. And she's also a 16-year-old girl, at least in the first book. Obviously she gets like older and older and older as the series goes on. Technically the series starts with Throne of Glass. This is the first book, and when this starts, you are following Selena, and she is entering a competition to become the king's champion, which is basically like the king's personal assassin. So it's kind of like the Hunger Games-esque like trials where you're competing against everybody to become like the assassin. So that's where it starts. But then obviously it has like, I believe 7 or 8 books total. And so now that I'm on like book 5, like you would not even believe the plot. It goes absolutely crazy. There is magic, there is dragons, there is fairies, there is so much stuff that happens. So yeah, so thus far as I'm reading, the books have just gotten better and better and better as the series goes on. But the first book, Assassin's Blade, I gave 2 stars. I didn't like how Selena acted in this book. She was very much like, I'm not like other girls. Very teenager, very YA, you know, which makes sense because she is 16. But it was just kind of hard for me to get through. Throne of Glass, I gave 3 stars. I thought it was a good start to the series, but it was lacking in some things, in my opinion. And then Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire, I gave 4 stars each, and I really liked these ones. I feel like Crown of Midnight is where you really like, there's a big plot twist that happens, and you kind of are like, oh, I see where we're going, you know, now I kind of see like where the rest of the series is going. And then Heir of Fire, like everything changes and you meet so many new characters, and it's just definitely my favorite thus far. But yeah, so I'm hoping as we go on, maybe one of these books will get 5 stars, but as of right now, I'm definitely enjoying the series. I'm having a good time. If you feel at all inspired to read fantasy, if you've ever wanted to try reading fantasy, and you're like a fantasy newbie, I highly recommend Sarah J. Maas's books because, one, they are very popular. So if you're ever confused about anything, you can find so much information online about the worlds and the characters. But number 2, I just feel like they're very fun and easy to get swept up into. And this cover so much. This series recently just got new covers, and that's what inspired me to start reading it. There's the tabs for that. Then we have Crown of Midnight, and the tabs, and then Air of Fire lastly. So, yes, still making my way through that series. Don't know when I'm gonna finish it, but so far so good. Okay, after that, let's talk about some of the romances that I read. The first one is a 5-star. This is a new favorite book of mine. If you watched my romance books you need to read video, check it out if you haven't, by the way. I talked about this, so I'm not going to go too much in depth just because I have already talked about it on my channel, but I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is my favorite contemporary romance, traditionally published author. Like, she's my girlie. I love Emily Henry. And I previously really enjoyed People We Meet on Vacation. I gave 5 stars, and then Beach Read I gave 4 stars. And so Book Lovers was high on my TBR, and it was a 5-star prediction, and I predicted correctly. I absolutely loved this book. I ate it up, and it's my favorite of her books thus far. So yeah, this is a romance between Nora and Charlie, who both work in the publishing industry. Nora is an agent and Charlie is an editor, and they live in the city of New York, but end up both being at a small town for a month and working closely together. So it's like a small town forced proximity romance between 2 city folk, and it was so good. I can't say enough good things about this book. Charlie Lastra, you will always be famous. I love you. That's my man right there. This was so good. If you couldn't tell by all my tabs, I fully annotated this because I loved it so much. So yeah, it's just amazing. If you just want to pick up a book, you're looking for something to read, give it a shot. It's so good. But after that, we have another 5-star. Both of the romances that I read this month, I gave 5 stars, and this next one is probably my most surprising book of the year this far, and that is Tessa Dare, Any Duchess Will Do. This is a historical romance. It's a little mass market paperback. I never in a million years would have thought that I would rate a historical romance book 5 stars. Like, I did not think that I would like historical romance. And I judged a book by its cover, you know, like I would see these in the store, see them at like the airport, in the gas station. Like, I feel like you can get these little mass market historical romances like everywhere, and I was always just like, yeah, that's not for me, that's not for me. But then I started watching Mama Needs to Read Romance here on YouTube. I love her videos so much. Go check her out. And she was doing all these historical romance book hauls, and I got the idea, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try one out. I'm gonna read historical romance and see how I feel about it. And so I did a little bit of research, and most people that really like historical romance recommended Tessa Dare as like a good author to start with. So then I just read some of the synopses for her books until I found one that sounded really interesting. And this is what we ended up with. So this is a Regency novel set, I believe, in London accepts the job because she needs the money to help take care of her autistic sister, and she also wants to be able to open up her own bookstore where she's going to sell erotic romance books to women, which, like, loved everything about Pauline and her character. But this was just like, the plot was so fun. There were so many like little twists and turns that happened, and the chemistry between our two main characters, I genuinely feel like these two are soulmates, and it was a lot more emotional than I thought it was gonna be. Like, there was like 2 scenes in this book that actually made me cry. I just thought it was beautiful. I laughed out loud. I had such a fun time. I loved this, and I think it's because it didn't have too much of those like icky historical tropes where like men don't respect women, and you know, like Griff was the most respectable, amazing guy, and Pauline was such a strong, badass woman who was not afraid to call him out and like stand up for herself. Like, I just loved it. I loved it so much. This is a new guilty pleasure read for me. I can already see myself like rereading it over and over because it worked for me. So if you have been at all interested in reading historical romance, pick this up and thank me later. Because I did not think I was going to be a historical romance girly, but this changed my mind. So I'm currently seeking out feminist historical romance recommendations. If you have any, let me know in the comments, because wow, I loved this. I'm definitely gonna read more books from Tessa Dare. I just realized that the next book is also a 5-star. So we had 3 5-star reads this month, which is pretty good for me. And that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The TV show on Amazon Prime came out this month, and so I was like, I need to read this. And then I got the audiobook from my library, like it finally came in, and so I was like, okay, perfect timing. I listened to the audiobook mostly, but I also like tapped the physical book as I listened. It was so good. It was so good. I mean, everyone loves this. Everyone thinks it's amazing. You don't need me to recommend it, but it lives up to the hype, I think. And if you are interested in this and you haven't read it yet, listen to the audiobook. I recommend listening to the audiobook over reading it physically, honestly. I absolutely loved it. So this book follows a fictional 70s rock band called Daisy Jones and the Six, and it's told in entirely an interview format, as you can see. And you're getting the perspective of Daisy and all the different bandmates and their friends and family and loved ones as you read. And I would say that this band is definitely like Fleetwood Mac inspired. There's the romances between the band members, there's drama, there's tension, there's drugs, sex, rock and roll, you know, bad decisions, morally great characters, rock stars. It was just so good, so good. I loved the way that feminism and like women's perspectives were woven throughout this story, and how you get so many different women and their views on life and how they may think different things. Like Daisy, Camilla, and Karen are all very different in their beliefs and their values, but how they all respected one another and like how they all loved one another as women was just so wonderful. So yeah, I did start watching the TV show on Amazon Prime, but it is very different from the books, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. But if you watched the show just want to say, if you love this series, if you love this book, that is totally fine. Like, that is totally okay. This came out in 2011, and if I would have read it when I was 11 and it came out, I would have been obsessed. Oh, I would have eaten it up. I would have loved it. But since I am a 23-year-old woman, I just did not enjoy this at all. I hated the writing style. It did not work for me. It was just too melodramatic, and there wasn't enough world building or explanation of the magic system in this. I don't know. I do think that this is going to be the worst one in the series, though. Like, I feel like it's only going to get better from here. So I am excited to continue the series, but I'm mostly just excited that this book is over. Yeah, it is a very easy read, though. This is a dystopian novel, a YA dystopian fantasy wannabe, essentially, about a girl named Juliet who has a lethal touch. Anyone she touches, they get very injured